popularity of the National Park and the Banff Springs Hotel was growing. By 1910, the original hotel was simply too small. Architect Walter Painter was commissioned to conceive of an even grander design. He modeled the new hotel after the baronial castles of Scotland. In 1912, Scottish stonemasons began to work blue-gray Mount Rundle limestone into the facing of the new wing. Bedford lime flagstones were imported for some of the floors. And the famous fossiliferous Tyndall stone was shipped from Manitoba for fireplaces and stairways. When the Painter Tower was complete, the Banff Springs Hotel became the tallest and, without a doubt, the most elegant building in the Rockies. To entertain guests during their stay, the hotel created Banff Indian Days, which evolved into a tourism event. This popular local tradition was celebrated at the Banff Springs. As they are today, visitors were drawn to the hotel by its magnificent setting. A setting that offered ample opportunity to experience the wilderness that is Banff National Park. As might be expected, hotel expansion was once again the order of the day. In preparation for the building of a new fireproof north wing, an annex was erected in 1926 to accommodate guests during construction. Although the Tudor styling of the annex opposed the chateau motif of the hotel, it couldn't have come at a better time. On April 6, 1926, the North Wing was prematurely destroyed by fire. The hotel opened late that year. In a time when work meant men and not machines, the construction schedule to replace the North Wing was more than remarkable. In less than a year, the entire wing had been replaced. And with characteristic railway efficiency, a new south wing was also added after the damaged tower was restored. The new hotel also included a spectacular new golf course. When the Canadian Pacific Railway discovered that its rival, Canadian National Railways, had hired legendary golf course designer Stanley Thompson to build a course at Jasper Park Lodge, it had Thompson build something even grander in Banff. With costs estimated at $1 million, in its day, it was the world's most expensive golf course. A magnificent complement to a magnificent hotel. In order to fill the grand new hotel, Canadian Pacific embarked on a worldwide advertising campaign. The railway's public relations genius, John Murray Gibbon, traded train passes for works of art. Employing the country's finest artists and graphic designers, Canadian Pacific established its hotels in Banff National Park as icons of what Canada meant to the world. At the center of it all was the Banff Springs. the Banff Springs was transformed and ready to go once again by 1930. But the world was not. The hotel's transformation had been completed just in time for the Great Depression. It stood empty through most of the 1930s. And then came World War II. In 1939, Canadian Pacific placed its vast resources at the disposal of the Allies. 17 Canadian Pacific passenger liners were sunk during the war, destroying the company's global transportation network. The Depression in World War II landed a devastating one-two punch on the economic chins of Canadian Pacific Railway properties in the Rockies. The world was changing. Passenger airplanes and automobiles were replacing trains and steamships as the preferred mode of travel. To remain competitive, Canadian Pacific did what it has always done. It adapted, even creating its own airline. But by the mid-1960s, its grand railway hotels in the Rockies were in trouble. An offer to purchase the Canadian Pacific hotel chain was forthcoming from the Hilton Hotel Consortium. The offer was made, however, with the condition that the buyer did not have to take the money-losing Banff Springs and Chateau Lake Louise. There was talk of demolishing them. Only at great effort could these hotels be saved and revived. It would also take a strategic business plan. For 80 years, Canadian Pacific's mountain properties were operated as summer resorts. It was determined that these properties could only survive if they opened year-round and expanded their client base. The hotel strategy was solid and well understood. Banff would be transformed into an international ski destination. Implementation began in the winter of 1969, making the Banff Springs a year-round resort. But getting the world to come to Banff to ski the Canadian Rockies was a slow process. In January and February of 1970, there were often fewer than 30 guests a night at the hotel. But the Banff Springs had already proven itself to be adaptable, able to adjust to the tides of change. Its forward-thinking strategy was pivotal in the transformation of Banff into a world-class winter destination. The rest, as they say, is history. One of the most exciting and important chapters in the history of the hotel.